You are looking at the wrong number. For years, you've been told that if your blood pressure is 120/80, you are safe. You breathe a sigh of relief, you tell your family you're fine, and you go on with your day. But while that cuff is squeezing your arm, a silent chemical reaction is happening deep inside your vessels. It has nothing to do with pressure. It has everything to do with texture. Right now, there are two specific numbers on your lab report that determine if your blood is flowing like water or if it is turning into a thick, sticky sludge that plasters your arteries shut. Most doctors gloss over these two numbers. They tell you to watch your salt and take your statins. But if you are over 55, ignoring this toxic pair is the single biggest gamble you are taking with your heart. Today, we are ignoring blood pressure. We are exposing the two numbers that actually decide how fast your arteries are aging. And the first one is probably hiding in your blood work right now, masquerading as normal. The first number has a nickname in medicine, the 3-month spy. You might know it as HbA1c. Most people hear this number and think, that's for diabetics, not me. That is a fatal mistake. You need to understand what this number actually represents. It shows how much sugar has been sticking to your blood over the last 90 days. But here is the terrifying part. If sugar is fusing to your blood cells, it is also fusing to the lining of your arteries. It's a process called glycation. Think of it like internal caramelization. When your HbA1c is high, your flexible, healthy arteries turn into stiff, brittle pipes. They stiffen, they inflame, they stop stretching. And a cracked, sticky pipe is the perfect place for a blockage to start. Here's the kicker. You don't need to be a full-blown diabetic for this damage to happen. If your number is creeping up into the 5.7 or 6.0 range, your arteries are already taking a beating. You are technically safe on paper, but biologically, you are rusting from the inside out. So go grab your latest labs. Look for HbA1c. If it is above 5.6%, your body is shouting a warning. But a sticky artery wall is only half the problem. You need something to get stuck to that wall to cause a heart attack. That brings us to number 2, the fuel for the fire: triglycerides. Please do not confuse this with cholesterol. They are not the same thing. Cholesterol is a building block. Your body uses it to repair cells and make hormones. But triglycerides, they are pure fat. They are unused energy floating in your bloodstream. When you eat more energy than you burn, especially from breads, pasta, and sweets, your liver turns that excess into grease balls and ships them out into your blood. If your triglycerides are high, your blood is literally becoming fatty. It becomes more viscous, slower. And here's the secret mechanism that makes this so dangerous for anyone over 55. High triglycerides force your LDL cholesterol, the so-called bad cholesterol, to change shape. Normally, LDL is large and fluffy like a beach ball, but triglycerides squeeze it down until it becomes small, hard, and dense like BB pellets. These small particles penetrate the artery wall effortlessly. Now put the two villains together. Your HbA1c has made your artery wall sticky and inflamed. Your high triglycerides have filled your blood with small, penetrating grease particles. It is the perfect storm. The fat gets caught in the sticky mesh, plaque builds up, the pipe narrows, and your blood pressure monitor? It still says 120/80 until the moment the pipe closes completely. This is why you see people with perfect numbers dropping dead. They were watching the pressure but ignoring the sludge. I'm curious, how many of you actually check your triglyceride number? Or do you just gloss over it looking for the cholesterol number? Let me know in the comments below. It's a common trap. Now, I am going to give you a tool. A simple calculation that is arguably more powerful than any expensive scan your cardiologist can order. You can do this right now. It's called the triglyceride to HDL ratio. Take your triglycerides number, divide it by your HDL, your good cholesterol. If the result is 2 or lower, your arteries are likely clean, flexible, and healthy. If the result is above 4, you are in the red zone. Your body is insulin resistant and your blood is prone to clotting. Major studies prove this ratio predicts heart attacks better than LDL alone, yet almost no patient asks about it. So, you are over 55, your metabolism has slowed down. You can't process sugar and carbs like you did when you were 20. That is why these two numbers, HbA1c and triglycerides, start to creep up now. The question is, how do we crush them? I am not talking about more pills. I am talking about biological leverage. Both of these numbers are driven by the same master switch, insulin. When you lower your insulin, you stop the liver from pumping out triglycerides, and you stop the sugar from caramelizing your blood cells. Step 1 is non-negotiable. You have to drain the fuel tank. Intermittent fasting is the quickest way to drain the sludge from your blood. When you don't eat for 14 or 16 hours, your body has no choice but to burn those floating triglycerides for energy. You literally burn off the risk. Step 2, you have to cut the white stuff. Bread, rice, sugar. These are the direct precursors to triglycerides. Remember, fat on your plate does not equal fat in your arteries. Sugar on your plate becomes fat in your arteries. Step 3, the post-meal walk. Just 10 minutes of movement after a meal forces your muscles to suck up the glucose from your blood before it can stick to your cells. It prevents the glycation process before it even starts. Imagine going to your next doctor's appointment. You hand them the labs, your HbA1c is down to 5.2. Your triglycerides have dropped below 100. Your ratio is perfect. You haven't just lowered a number. You have physically cleaned your internal plumbing. You have turned sticky syrup back into free-flowing water. You have bought yourself years of life that blood pressure medication alone could never give you. You now have the knowledge that 90% of seniors lack. You know what to look for. You know the real enemy. Starting today, don't just check your pressure, check your pipes. Because arteries don't fail loudly, they fail quietly. If you want to stop hidden blood sugar spikes before they silently damage your arteries, subscribe to this channel. This is where we break problems down before they become diagnoses.